Welcome, everybody. Another Doomsday Doopy Doo. I'm Nick. I'm here with Chris. Chris, how's it going?
Nick?
Yes?
I'm still working on that intro. I'm still trying to work on the cold coming in. It's tough.
It's weird. It's weird.
It is weird.
Just got to get to talking and then just drop it.
Yeah, no, once that's... I can't bring it up. Can't bring it up every time.
What?
That I don't know how to go in.
Oh,
Introduce me.
Yeah, no, it's a little strange. I don't know where to begin tonight. So I was very excited because I got some time to play Red Dead Redemption.
Okay, yeah.
I imagine you're pretty far in that game.
I don't know. I don't know what percentage. I'm pretty decent amount.
You went a couple of hours in, maybe. You think?
Yeah, more than a couple.
Oh,
yeah, maybe like 12 hours in, probably.
Yeah. I just got out of the snow, so I'm probably still way early in the game. But first of all, the game's amazing so far. I mean, it's amazing how they get the snow, and like I really was hating the snow as I was playing it. I'm like, I got to get out of the snow. It's physically annoying. And I thought, why am I annoyed? I'm sitting on my couch. I'm not freezing to death. Then I was thinking how glad I am that I didn't live in that time. I would have lasted like 2 fucking minutes in that world. I would have given up at the part where you have to climb that ledge to find John Marston.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, right there when you have to climb up here. I would have just been, I'm going home. The game would have been over. My version of Red Dead Redemption would have been like 3 minutes long.
Would have been Red Dead. Fuck it. I'm getting out of here.
Yeah, Red Dead, fuck it. Red Dead, fuck this.
It's funny that you say that because I thought about that too. And I remember when I got out of the snow, like what a relief. Like it was so liberating to be able to walk
my God, just
normally.
To walk.
Yeah.
And see
Yes.
a little bit.
Yes.
It was annoying.
Yeah, it was oppressive. And yeah, you're right. I actually, when I first played the game, it probably cost me an hour because I don't know why. I ended up walking my horse I couldn't figure out what the right direction was to go because I didn't know.
Yeah.
And I was going in the wrong direction for a really long time. And I think I couldn't even ride the horse. I think I had to walk it. And it took me a ridiculous amount of time to get back to the cabin. Like it was infuriating. I was like, oh my God. I hate this.
Yeah. At one point, they're like, come on, and I was like, I didn't know it was supposed to be over here. And then even the first shootout, though, the only thing I had like with the game was like, oh, geez, I have this super cool gang, and we're having a shootout with this other gang. And if I didn't shoot them, they weren't dead. Like I had to kill every one of them while they ragged on me and how long I was taking.
Yes.
And like, I want to turn around and you fucking guys and shoot one guy.
Yeah, but you're Arthur Morgan. You're the guy. You're the shit.
Well,
he's like fucking John Rambo of the cowboy
is
world. Dude, the shit that I've done with him.
Oh,
he's like the John fucking Rambo, dude. Come on.
So far I got 2 deer and skinned 1 of 3.
Okay.
And I killed all those guys while they made fun of me. Then now the snow melted.
The snow, yeah, that's good. That's a good thing. The gang is really cool. It's almost
like robbed the train. I robbed the train.
Oh, okay.
Am I spoiling this for anybody?
You might be spoiling it for people.
Oh, jeez.
But
it doesn't. I'm not giving it. All right, I'm going to stop.
Okay. Well, no, I don't think so. I don't think anything. I mean, that's the beginning. Like you're at the beginning of the game. If I started saying stuff, I think that would be different.
Okay.
But even then, I'm not
giving away any story.
No, but the game is really cool though. I think it's almost like Quentin Tarantino-esque, the diversity of the gang. And the diversity of they all have their own little niche, like scams or kinds of crimes that they do. And then the fact that they're not an atypical gang because they're like very much more like a family than just a bunch of scumbags, just strong-arming people. Like, they all have their little niche and they work together. And the money goes in the pot and it goes to the camp. And that's cool. It's cool. It's cool. And like I said, it's very diverse. So you go to Charles and he's the Indian guy. He teaches you how to fish and hunt. And, this guy breaks into houses. Yeah, I got some houses to break into. And this guy's got you robbing stagecoaches. And they all have their own. And there's the German guy is a loan shark. Once again, I don't think I'm spoiling. This is all, you learn this at the beginning of the game. Right. Not necessarily key story points. But, yeah, I played it for about an hour today.
Yeah. It's a good game.
But here's what kills me.
Okay.
About it is, so when you're playing, the one thing that gets to be really hard is it's so real that it's so time consuming because what?
You hear that?
No.
Fuck, I'm hearing things. Go ahead. You don't hear that?
Is it a ghost?
It might just be in my head. It might have originated between my ears.
All I heard was myself talking.
I hear like this squeal.
That's tinnitus. You got tinnitus?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
No, it went away.
Okay. That's good.
Okay.
Just ignore it.
Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt
If it goes
you.
away, ignore it.
All right. No, I just thought it was me or something. Are we? Yes, we're recording.
Okay. There we. So we got that out of the way for the episode now.
See, I can see the levels moving, but if I don't see the numbers changing, then that means that. Okay, so we're recording.
You panic me. So, you're using a horse to travel around, and it legitimately takes, if you're going across the map, it takes a long time. And along the way, it's so easy to get distracted.
Yeah.
And screwing around with, look, here's some shit to pick. And here's, and next thing you know, here's the bounty hunters. And shit, I'm dead. And what the fuck was I doing? And 4 hours can evaporate like that.
Yeah, the time did go quick.
Holy shit, what the fuck did I do? I was just driving from here to here on a fucking horse.
Right.
And it took me that long to get there.
Well, off the air, I want to talk to you to see, well, I guess we have to both finish the game. And then we could compare what we did at certain points to see how it made the game different. Because, you're presented with, choices to make.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, I don't know if we made the choices the same way. I want to ask you about the train guys, but I don't want to ruin anything about the game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that those things change major elements of the story. Maybe they do.
They might. I have a feeling they come back around to bite you or not bite you or help you in some way as the game progresses. I just got that feeling from the game. I remember Knights of the Old Republic was like that.
I mean, I know things that you do impact how people respond to you. I'm pretty unkempt. I'm trying to do level 10 hair and a level 10 beard. And once you get to level 7, you have to start drinking hair tonic like crazy. But it's looking pretty crazy right now.
It is.
Oh, it's pretty crazy. It's a pretty crazy look that I got going on. He's pretty much marginally crazy miner dude. You know how every Western there was crazy miner guy?
Who's crazy miner?
The crazy miner dude who was always panning, and then he's just spent way too much time in the river up to his ankles in mud with a pan, just trying to get gold so he can go get loaded. In some of these cowboy movies, he actually they made fun of him in Blazing Saddles. The crazy miner guy was Gabby Smith, I think his name was, and they're like,
yeah, okay,
kind of talked like the Swedish Chef, kind of actually. Yeah. Nobody, they could understand him, but you couldn't understand him,
right?
And this guy just spent way too much time alone in a river looking for gold so that he can go get loaded. Maybe buy a hooker, get a back rub. I don't know. He's not even thinking about a bath at this point. He's just trying to get his load on.
I just saw. Speaking of that guy, I don't remember the name of the movie though, and I didn't finish it. There's still I still have an hour left. It was kind of long. It was on Netflix, and it was the Coen brothers.
Okay.
Buster Scruggs.
Oh, okay.
Did you see it?
It's new?
And it's so far, from what I can, unless they all tie together at the end somehow, so far they're all just these small, short, random Western stories. And they're freaking wild, man. They are wild. One of them is an old prospector. And he's it's a little similar to what you're describing. I mean, just how and he ends up being really this tough bastard. But even despite of his age, if you see it, watch it. I don't know what the last hour is. I want to, I'm going to finish it. But.
I'll have to watch it then. I didn't think about that. Maybe I'll watch it tonight when I go home.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's some, and I think I told you this. There's some weird shit in this game.
Oh yeah.
When you get around to it, that's the stuff I want to talk to you about. There's just weird.
Yeah, I can remember you saying you want to talk to me about something with that.
There's just weird stuff, man.
All right, but we won't be able to talk about it on the air because you're going to spoil it.
Well,
so we'll talk about it off the air.
Well, so
like some sort of
we have to we'll have to do
spoiler.
This is a spoiler cast. We're going to spoil this part of the game.
Okay, I guess we could do that.
Because some people would want to hear us talk about it because they probably played the game and had no one to talk to about it.
Could be.
Maybe the 3 people that listen would want to hear us talk about it.
Yeah, well, I think we're at 4 and a half now.
4.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
My son wanted to download the show to help us out because he thought the more people that listen, the more money you make. Mm-hmm. I was like, no. I mean, yes, but no. Thank you, though, son. But speaking of skinning deer, I went deer hunting. I sent you a picture which depressed you.
Yeah. It was a lot of death. Just a lot of death.
I didn't expect that much. You know, everyone I talked to said that I probably wouldn't see anything. You know, you'll be lucky if you see one or two. I mean, I was told. And dude, they were everywhere. They were everywhere. And I think there were a bunch of us, and I think that by the end of the day, it was like 9 or 10. We ended up bagging.
And a fox.
I
saw that, yeah. Yeah,
the fox was, that when I saw the fox, I was like, oh. Yeah, that was a little, I don't know why. I mean, I guess the first one bothered me a little bit, not the fox, but the first deer, which happened within, not kidding, within 40 minutes of starting the hunt. They already got a buck. And within 40 minutes of my first hunt, I got shot at, which was fun. I didn't know I got shot at until I asked the guy next to me, I said, did we get shot at? And he looked at me and said, he's like, yeah. He's got a smile on his face. He's like, we got shot at. We did it's called a drive. So you go on one side of like a patch of woods and a couple of guys will push deer out by just going through to some other people who are, kind of staking out. And I was staking out. Me, maybe 3-4 other guys hanging there, staking out. We're all spread across. And I'm hearing noise behind me. And I turn around and I see other hunters like come walking up. And, they're whistling and making noise. And, that's kind of what you do to push deer out towards the people who are standing. Then they call them drivers and standers or pushers and posters. So we're posting or standing. And one of the frightening things is that I realized, they're driving. And then I'm they're driving towards us. That means in front of us are people who are posting or standing, waiting and shooting in our direction. But I said, nah, no way. It's got to be smarter than that. But sure enough, I hear like rustling leaves, but really fast, like whoosh, like that. And that's when I said, "Did we get shot?" And he said, "Yeah." It was strange. I saw a guy have. I never thought I'd see this. So he had gotten a deer on his first day. Went he had to hang his deer somewhere. You can't just drag it into your house. So he decided to hang it in his yard, and I saw it, and it was hanging from dead center of his kid's playset, swing set.
Nice.
You want to see? I mean, swings, slide. Dead deer, just like
blood running out of its nose on the ground.
Yeah,
children's feet are dragging.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, there was some blood coming out of the nose. Yeah, but there wasn't a pool of blood. The blood was gone already. But yeah, but for some reason, when I saw the fox, it was a little bit like because it looks like foxes are cute and fluffy and stuff. So that was a little.
And it was just hey, there's a fox. Fuck it, let's shoot it.
Yeah, it was kind of like that, and I wasn't there for that. I was on the other side, where I got shot at almost like a second time, and that's actually how I got the one I ended up getting, was on that particular drive, I guess you'd call it. And we walked back around, and he was like, they were getting in that one. They had so many deer ran out, and they got so many of them that they were just people. Gutting deer all over the place. It was crazy. And he was like, grab that fox over there. I'm going to bring him in the pickup truck with this. I'm like, fox. And then they dragged him over like, There's a fox.
They were just killing everything in their
They were just killing. But he's at the butcher, and part of me is excited because I like venison. Do you like venison?
It's okay, yeah. It's good.
Yeah. And sausage and hot sticks and jerky.
I mean, I think anything prepared well can be good. I think if it's just like, here's a chunk of venison, I do this on the grill. I mean, like if it's like prepared.
It's good like that, though.
Yeah.
Oh, it depends, I guess. The ones I've had were good that way. I don't know. They were all different because they're wild, but they're not game capped. They're not given consistent diet. For every animal is going to be different, but we'll see. I just thought I'd bring that up. But I didn't mean to upset you with the photograph.
No, I
just couldn't believe the photograph because it was amazing to me. It was such a stark contrast when people said I was going to experience to versus what I did experience. That I was like, look at this. Look how many deer there are over here.
You see, I think the thing that bothered me was because I've been hunting before when I was a kid, but it was you go on a huge piece of property, and if you the way you described it, if we came across something, yes, and then it was a lot of work to get that something, and you came home with like one, maybe two.
Mm.
What I saw was a massive amount of deer,
yeah,
and then the looks on everybody's eyes was just.
What?
Just empty.
Yeah. Well, it was a long freaking
Well,
day.
I was like, are they tired? Are they just...
Oh, my God. It was
Are they
exhausting.
transformed by the murder? The mass genocide of deer that went on in front of your eyes?
Well,
it was like Normandy for deer in the woods.
It was.
It was
like a scene in Schindler's List. It was just, they were piled up.
Wait, Schindler's List? You guys were
remember
running
that
deer
pile?
into an oven?
Remember that god-awful pile?
Oh, yes.
It was
yes,
like
that was the red jacket scene, right? Where the red raincoat, the kid.
Oh, yeah, you were following the fucking raincoat
Christ.
through the whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
But
what a great movie! What a fucking
the only
depressing
color
movie,
in the whole fucking movie.
And the fucking Nazis.
The only
killed it,
color.
dude. They killed the only color in the movie and threw it in a pile.
Yeah, the only color, and yeah,
They couldn't see that
yeah.
color though, dude.
I guess not.
Not to them. No, it just looked like somebody else to just fucking chew up and throw in the pile.
Jesus Christ!
I saw that in the movie theater, dude. I think I was like, my dad, and I'm kind of like that with my kids, I guess. My dad showed me movies that I don't think I should have saw. Like I saw like Alien when I was like 10.
Oh,
That
dude, me
shit
too. In the
fucking-
theater, I saw that.
I
Can you
know.
believe they brought me to the fucking theater for that?
No, I didn't see it in the theater. That would have.
I saw it in the goddamn theater.
That's crazy.
My parents I had to get out. I mean, I
It's a rated R
understand
movie,
now.
though.
I don't know what the fuck I was doing there, and you're a little older than me, right? I think I had to be 8.
Yeah, no, it was back in the.
If you were 10, I was 8.
Probably. I watched it it was on HBO, and I remember watching it. I was afraid to go to the bathroom in the house. We were playing Parcheesi. I piss came out, and I was afraid to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I didn't eat spaghetti for 3 years.
For
3 years, I did not touch spaghetti.
yes, spaghetti. John Hurt.
Oh my God. I look at that scene now and I'm like, gee, I almost don't want to eat spaghetti.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, I wonder now if we watched it, like, if it just looks fake now, but it was fucking terrifying.
No,
dude.
he was good at. He really like. Oh my God, he's choking on spaghetti.
Yeah. Well, and they fuck with you too, though, because you're like, he's fucked up, he's in a coma, he's got this thing on. Oh, he's fine now. Look, he's eating spaghetti. Oh,
right, exactly.
Is that
you're
spaghetti
so happy,
on his shirt?
You're so happy he's all right. Well, look, thank goodness he's all right. Thank God this movie's
good.
turning around a little bit.
He's
for
the only big name actor. Him and Yaphet Kotto were in it.
Yeah, no, really. There's no way he's gonna get killed.
Yeah, not him. Man, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Is that spaghetti on his shirt? Wait a minute. What's
what's
going on?
He got some sauce on him.
Yeah,
Like,
it looked like.
Is this something moving?
Yeah.
And he started like, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was fucking. And I'll tell you something else. I don't even know if you know this movie, but there's a movie called Dress to Kill. Michael Caine and Angie Dickinson.
Mm-hmm.
Which pretty much Michael Caine, I think, is like a cross dresser in it, and it's like murder. Like he stabs with like scissors, and my dad let me watch Death Wish, not Death Witch, which is a totally different movie. But Death Wish, the Bronson movies.
The Bronson movies,
Yep.
okay. I watched those, but not when I was that young.
I watched.
I think I watched Channel 11 reruns of that, like which is kind of watered down.
Yeah, so where were we going back to why
were we talking about
old movies?
Old movies?
Yeah.
Oh, because I said Schindler's List.
Schindler's List, yeah.
It was what that deer photo looked like.
But you're right. Gotcha. Thanks for usually I get us back on track, but that's good.
We're recording earlier in the week, so I'm not as drunk as you normally am.
Yeah. If it's a different vibe, it's Wednesday and not Friday.
Yes.
So.
And if something catastrophic happens between now and Friday and we don't talk about it on the show, that's why, because we already recorded.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because Friday's the big freaking shindig.
Yes.
At your house.
The big...
With the karaoke.
Yes. The big karaoke party.
What songs do you have? Because I need to prepare.
I use the iPad, so I have every song.
Really?
Just use YouTube, and it's great. It Bluetooths right to it, and you can have anything.
But how's that?
What do you mean?
Doesn't it have a vocal track?
It does. It goes from the Bluetooth from the iPad to the speaker.
Oh, so you sing with the singer?
No, it's karaoke.
How do you...
Have you ever seen how karaoke guys do it nowadays? They don't carry all those fucking... I had all those discs, and I had a bunch of them, but you're limited to what you sing. Now, these guys go around with a computer or an iPad, and on YouTube, there are a million of just karaoke songs with the lyrics and everything.
With the lyrics?
With the coloring lyrics going along
really?
with it. Yes.
And the vocal track removed?
And no vocal track, backup vocals, if necessary, are applied, but yes. You'll see on Friday. It's all there.
Really?
Whatever you can dream of is there.
But how's that legal?
It's probably
doesn't get yanked down by YouTube?
No.
Really?
It's a lot. There's a lot. I mean, there's 20 to 30 versions of every song. Anything you could think of, just about. I've never looked for something and not found it.
So why do I have an Apple Music subscription?
I don't know. What's wrong with you?
I don't know.
That's different. Music is different, but that's not technically music because it's not really the artist. Singing. Yes, there's no artist there. Yeah.
Yeah,
and they give them credit at the front.
Unless I had called you up to come sing all the songs whenever I wanted to listen to them. Chris, I'm in my car listening to music. Can you sing along?
Listen to Beyonce. Can you give me some Beyonce? Beyonce. But yeah, I remember going all the way back and to finish the Schindler's List idea. Going to see Schindler's List as a child, and I was fucking emotionally devastated by that movie. I remember crying. Like crying.
Yeah, no, that was a fucking really messed up movie.
Yeah.
It was it's up there.
Yeah.
Definitely. But that's what the pile of deer looked like.
It did.
It looked like that.
It was a deer holocaust for sure.
But and the looks on our faces is just... But one of the things I have to say, after gutting like the fifth deer, it's just a weird feeling. I was just looking and just going, damn, we're meat. Yeah, I did that already. We're just meat. It was alive, and then it was dead, and then once you scrape that stuff out, you're looking at it, I'm like, no, it looks like meat. And like it was a weird moment. I don't know, but have you gutted anything?
We've dressed deer before. Right?
Okay, so when you dressed it, did you feel that too, or was it just me? Like you looking at it going...
I mean, I don't know. I was a lot younger, so I don't know. As I've gotten older, I've gotten more. I'm fucking weepy. I'll be 46 this Saturday, and as a 46-year-old man, I'm fucking weepy. I'm a weepy fucking old man. I'm in the car listening to Harry Potter binge mode, talking about how Dobby died. Oh shit, that's probably a spoiler.
That's probably a spoiler.
That's a major spoiler for you. But anyways,
he dies
at some point. And I'm fucking...
Fuck, dude.
I know. Well, let me just tell you.
What, as you get to that fucking serious?
As you get to that last book, dude, the body count... body count starts to go, man. I mean, it starts to go.
Yeah, but...
Dude. The last book is like all-out war. But I'm going to stop before I say anything else now because I realized as that came out, I'm like, fuck, he has not...
I didn't get to that one yet.
Which is not a humongous spoiler, but...
Probably, yeah. Maybe for...
But, I mean, because at that point, you get the idea. And it's kind of like George R.R. Martin. Anyone can die.
Okay.
In the fucking book. When you get there, by the time you're at that point, you'll realize that. But I was in the fucking car crying. I'm on the way to work. And I'm fucking crying, dude. Over fucking a house elf. I'm crying.
A house elf?
Dobby's a house elf.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. You just met Dobby in the books.
Yeah, I did.
But Dobby's through the whole books. He's he's Harry's. That's his guy, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was crying about that. I watched Real Steel with Hugh Jackman. You know Real Steel?
No.
The robot boxing movie with Hugh Jackman?
Hugh Jackman?
Hugh
No.
Jackman? Huge
Jackman.
Huge Axeman.
Huge Axeman.
Is that your character's name in Gamma
It
World?
should be. I'm going to change it.
Huge.
I'm changing it to Huge Axeman.
I realize I'm punchier on Wednesday than I thought I was on Friday.
Yeah.
But it's like robot boxing, dude. And he has this underdog robot, and he goes on the road with this kid, and it's kind of like Over the Top. Remember Over the Top with Sylvester Stallone? The arm wrestling movie?
Yeah, of course. It's like a switch.
Yeah, exactly.
When he turns his hat.
Exactly. It just turn it on.
Right.
But it's a terrible Sylvester Stallone, but
mine wasn't any better.
It's kind of the same, but with robots and like kind of advanced. And there's a part when my wife comes in, she's like, "What? Are you crying?" I'm like,
"You're crying during a metal robot movie?"
Dude, I'm telling you, it's all dad stuff. The dad stuff rips me apart. It really does.
Okay.
It rips me apart. It rips my heart out. And she's like, "You're crying at Real Steel." And she's like, I'm embarrassed that I'm married to you.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So anyways.
All right, so
we'll close the book on the deer Holocaust.
Yes, I'm sorry. I just thought I'd bring it up because I think I had mentioned that I was going, and so I just figured I'd just say that I went, and I really should have taken a picture of that deer hanging from that swing set, but I felt like I was making fun of the guy if I did that, and I was laughing my ass off in his yard. I was like, I've never seen anything like this before. And we're pulling up a second one. He's like, "Don't get any blood on the swing." I was just like, "Oh my God."
It'll be good. It'll lubricate the slide for the kids. They'll be able to slip right down it.
Yeah.
Blood and deer guts.
My friend Brian's looking around. He had a chicken coop and a shed. He's like, "It's like Deliverance over here." But yeah, they're good friends. They're a good bunch of guys. But interesting.
Good.
Interesting.
Will you do it again?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. I don't know if I would do a drive with that many guys again, because I felt like after this, there's a 6-day season where it's like, I don't want to say it's free, but it's like almost, it's cheaper. Mm-hmm. And since it's the opening of the season, besides the bow, that's when I guess there's most deer, so everyone goes then. Mm-hmm. I think I would have liked it a little more quiet. Yeah, a little more in nature.
Less gunfire.
This was more. You're in a tribe that's starving to death.
But none of you were starving.
Well, yeah, but we could have been. If there was no meat, we'd be starving, right? Well, we wouldn't be starving, be eating plants, I guess, but we could have been starving.
Oh, you just went to waaaay and gotten a grinder or something.
Something that somebody else killed.
Yeah, let somebody else do that.
Yeah, I guess. But then you see with the way they treat those animals.
Yeah, but you can't look at that. You can't.
Well, but then you can't look at the hunting either.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think I've chosen to not do either. Really.
Yeah, I think it's less cruel than some slaughterhouses.
It might be. It's just very personal. I mean, you're doing it yourself, you know?
Yeah.
That thing, and I look at them out my window, and they look back at me, and I see the light in their eyes. The same way you look at a person, and you see that light in their eyes that makes them... Because you're saying they're meat. And you're right. Essentially, we're all meat.
I said we're meat.
We're all meat, right. But there's something in the eyes. And as I looked at that picture, the thing that struck me was that they lay there with their eyes open, with that light gone from their eyes. You know, that spark that... I don't want to say a soul or whatever it is, but there's something there that goes away, dude. Whether it's just the cease of vital body functions, or if it really is the soul fucking departing the body or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
But that's what struck me was, and then I looked down at all the dead animals, and they were multitude. They were legion of dead animals, and everybody with their buck's head up because that was
the one guy guy had that one buck that was.
Yeah, and the other guy had his penis out next to the one's mouth.
No, there was none of that.
Fucking weird. I'm like,
there was none of that.
Fucking freaks. Anyways, I'm kidding. Nobody was doing that, but
no.
But then I look up, and you guys almost have, and maybe it was because you were tired, but I'm just like,
fucked.
You guys look like you had been to a fucking war. Like you had been, like you were shell shocked. Like everybody, you almost had the same look in your eyes a fucking deer did.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work, but yeah, I would do it again, but a little more on the quieter side. I think But that's probably when you wouldn't get anything because it would be harder, probably on your own, or with one or two other people. So I didn't make the sandwich that I was going to make for the stoner recipes.
Okay. I didn't know we were doing stoner recipes today.
Yeah, I was planning on doing it, but then I just looked at the notes now and I said, "Oh, geez, the freaking stoner recipes." I forgot it. So, but maybe you're right. Maybe we do a show. We should do like a YouTube, like you have like one of those chef shows.
Okay, so
you want to have like stoner recipes? Just bring the camera up into the kitchen,
like have all the bowls of like Captain Crunch separated, like
Yeah.
You like just throw them in there, bang.
Yeah, or maybe make those GIF. You ever see those recipe GIFs with the hands? No. Yeah, could do that. I don't know. T-shirt contest. That drawing's gonna be Monday. So by the time you hear this,
you'll have already won.
You'll have already won or lost,
and you know who you are.
But at least, the email will be going out on the Monday, but now people are signing up because I put the picture of the damn T-shirt up. So I
saw that. I showed that to my family at the table. Yeah.
Oh, what did they think?
They thought it was okay. Yeah,
they thought it was all right.
I can't gauge my wife. She's like, and then that's it.
Why she doesn't like baseball jerseys?
I don't know. I thought she would like it because it was a baseball shirt. I thought it was cool that it was gray with the red sleeves.
Heather,
yeah. It was Heather. Who's Heather?
No, it wasn't Heather. It was Gray. Heather is that.
I went to high school with Heather.
Yeah.
I think so.
Does she look?
I don't know.
Because Heather's a sexy name.
It does sound sexy.
Yeah. So
I did wait. So hold on. By us saying that Heather is a sexy name, are we like profiling Heathers in a sense?
I never met a Heather that isn't good looking.
Do we want to challenge that? I could do a web search here and type in Heather.
No.
And we could just scroll through Google Images.
No. Heather Thomas.
Well, there were two. I think that is what's forming your decision. There were the two Heathers back in the day: Heather Thomas and Heather Locklear.
Right. That's pretty hard to top.
They were both pretty prototypical. Well, who did you prefer? Are you a Heather Thomas? Heather Thomas, not a Heather Locklear. Heather Thomas was the fall guy. Heather Thomas,
yes,
the taller one with the darker
taller,
blonde
voluptuous.
Hair. Was she more voluptuous?
Yes, than Locklear, definitely.
I remember. I think I liked Heather Thomas more too. I didn't like the blonde, like the light blonde, feathery, white blonde hair.
Yeah. Where's this show going?
I don't know. I just thought it's kind of, I don't know, retro niche.
No, because
go into the
because then the other thing I have down here is Brandon and Pryor.
Brandon and Pryor.
Yeah, which is a note I think from last show. Marlon Brandon and Richard Pryor having sex with each other.
Marlon Brandon. Who's
Marlon Brando? I said Brandon. Fuck.
Not only did you say Brandon, but you said Brandon and Pryor. Then you said Marlon.
I said Brandon and Pryor?
And then you said Marlon
because that's why I spelt it, because I'm dumb. But Brando and Pryor.
Okay.
I guess, I'm typing on this thing with my thumbs sometimes, and yeah.
So do you have evidence? Do you have the story?
No, I wanted to. Well, you never heard it?
No.
So, and suppose it's corroborated? Corroborated.
Yeah.
Why does that sound so wrong?
It isn't. No, it's okay.
It isn't. It sounds
fine. You're fine there.
Corroborated by Pryor's wife, I think. I mean, we're here talking about
Is she just saying fucked up shit because he can't defend himself?
Yeah, we're here talking about the dead. But
they're both dead now, right? Richard Pryor dead?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I don't know why. I don't know why that.
I think in order for us to talk more about that, I need the details. I don't hold on. I don't want to know the details of that because it's a kind of a disturbing. Now, which Brando are we talking about here? We're talking about young, Wild Ones Brando.
Yeah, well, I think that,
or is it
Pryor
fat?
When
is
Pryor
it fat
is in,
Island of Dr. Moreau Brando.
No, when Pryor is in his prime, it's an aging Brando, but not.
But still, even
you're talking like 78.
But that's still Godfather Brando. He was fat Brando in the 70s when he did Godfather 1. He was fat Brando still.
Yeah, he was. Did he fatten up for that movie?
I don't know. He was older at that point, though. Let's not forget that most of Brando's young buck roles were done
in the 60s, no?
Early 60s.
Early
maybe late 50s.
Late 50s, even.
Yeah, somewhere. So I mean, his better times were there.
So it was an aging...
not his better times.
So it was an aging...
Physically better times.
It was an aging Marlon Brando.
Maybe I would guess he would be older than us now, even. Wouldn't he be in his 50s?
Right? No, he'd probably like in his 50s. And Pryor in his mid-20s?
See, I'm 30? Just fucking perplexed by that, though, dude. What is it?
So, Richard, I'm glad you came to my island.
Yeah, something like that.
Come over here and rub my shoulders.
Yeah. That's. I mean, I don't know if that's how it happened.
Then Richard Pryor's like, "Shut the fuck up, suck my dick, motherfucker."
Right. Something like that.
Well, come over here, rub my shoulders, and that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting a scene.
Well, I just.
But you should just keep going.
But it's in my head though. If one of us could do a Pryor, I would switch off.
I can't do a Pryor.
I'm just trying to throw my. I'm cursing a lot, and I'm talking. I'm probably sound more like Chris Rock.
Yeah, well, it's hard to do a Pryor without coming out as a Chris Rock.
Yeah.
What did Richard Pryor sound like?
When you're on fire and running down the street, people get out of your way. That's his cadence. He has a cadence, and his voice was.
I can't remember his voice. It's been so long since I heard it.
You know what was funny? My brother-in-law and I were watching Harlem Nights. Remember Harlem Nights with Eddie Murphy?
Yes, Eddie Murphy.
Red Fox,
Richard Pryor. And
Della Reese
was there any Wayans in there?
I don't think the Wayans were in there, but oh my God, who was Eddie Murphy's sidekick that had the talk show? Oh God, why do I fucking remember his name?
I don't
know. Arsenio Hall's in it.
Oh,
that's who I was looking for. It's a funny fucking movie, dude. Sinbad is not in it now. There's no fucking Sinbad. Nobody likes Sinbad.
You didn't like Sinbad?
No, I don't like Sinbad. No.
I liked Sinbad. I like those pants.
Fake ass red hair.
Red hair?
Isn't hair like red?
No.
It's like a red. It was like a
weird color.
It was not a natural color.
Those big blue parachute pants.
What was Sinbad most known for? He was a TV show, right?
A TV show. He was a stand-up comedian.
He was an average stand-up comedian.
He was pretty good. I mean, he wasn't Pryor or
Murphy
or any
Bill
Chris
Cosby.
Rock or Bill Cosby or any of those guys. But
drugs.
He's better than Arsenio Hall was. Arsenio Hall wasn't that funny.
No, he wasn't. He was the Chris Tucker of the 80s at best.
Who?
Chris Tucker?
No, I know Chris Tucker.
Arsenio Hall was the Chris Tucker of the 80s. He was just hanging around with Eddie Murphy. He got famous because of Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, but Chris Tucker got famous because of Chris Tucker.
Chris Tucker got famous because of Ice Cube. Friday. Come on.
No, but...
What did Chris Tucker do? He did
Friday.
And
what? The Jackie Chan movies? I don't know. What?
And?
I don't know. Quite a few of those.
We did The Fifth Element, too.
Then
which actually was fun. That was
he
funny.
was fucking good. I think he's better than Arsenio Hall. Arsenio Hall became a talk show host. The woof, woof, woof and all that.
Woof, woof, woof.
Yeah, the dog pound or something.
Yep, you're right.
Yeah, and... Yeah, no.
I don't know.
You got knocked the fuck out.
That's your Chris Tucker?
That's my Chris Tucker.
This is the impression show, by the way.
This is the impression show. This
so
is
far,
the racist impression show.
I don't think that's racist.
I mean, we're not affecting the African-American dialect too much. Not overemphasizing. So.
What have we given him so far on our impression show? We've given him a little Brando.
Well, you did all of the impressions.
You just did one. I thought we did. You did.
I just did one just now. Yeah, but until this point,
I'm going to get you to do another one before we're done.
Okay. I could do Mater.
Mater?
Or Larry the Cable Guy.
Who?
Larry the Cable Guy.
Say what?
Dadgum.
You watch too many kids' movies.
Yeah.
You should watch.
Well, no, the kids make me do it all. They like, we call it talking cars. So we'll talk with cars. And so someone will be Lightning McQueen, someone will be Batman. Usually I'm Batman and Mater. I'm usually both.
So you can do Batman too.
Well, Batman's not too hard to do. You just talk like like you can't breathe a little bit.
Yeah.
And
like you can't breathe.
And just say I'm Batman. Like, I'm Batman. That's it. What are you guys doing over here? I'm Batman. Yeah, it's not. It's like fake. It's like but that's the way he comes off. Supposedly, I guess to disguise his voice, so he doesn't get
identified.
Identified. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like Clark Kent's glasses. I guess
it's better than Clark Kent's glasses. The suit.
Yeah, the suit is
because he's the Batman. He's in a suit.
But
But Clark Kent. Well, see, it was better when Christopher Reeve played Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Because when Christopher Reeve played Superman, put those glasses on, styled his hair a little bit differently, dressed differently, but also carried himself like a completely different person. Like not so. You could look at it and go, I wouldn't think for a million years, especially if you worked with him, you wouldn't think that that's Superman. Well,
no, I think you're right. I think you're onto something when you say he carried himself differently, so that it almost distracted you from. He didn't carry himself like a big buff, the perfect man, right? The Nietzschean Superman, the perfect person, right?
Yeah,
he carried himself like a bumbling kind of.
Yeah, bumbling, pushing up his glasses.
He's kind of a
Lois. Do you think we should do that? Just stumbling and stuttering and.
Yeah. No, you're right, because the newest Superman is not super.
He just throws sunglasses. He just throws glasses on.
And
he still looks super cool.
He just he looks super buff and chiseled, and he's still like, oh, but I'm just a buff chiseled journalist now. Right. Nobody will notice this.
Right.
The other person that did a good job was Brandon Routh when he did. I think that's his name.
Who the what?
Brandon Routh. Ruth. No, not Ruth.
Is this just one of those people where I know him if I see him, but just don't know their name?
Well, he was in the Superman Returns movie with Kevin Spacey as the Lex Luthor. That was the last Superman that you officially saw, according to the show records that I have right here.
I thought it was Cavill.
Cavill because Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor was not in any of the Cavill era. It was that.
Oh, okay. So then that was the last one I saw,
and that's Brandon.
So then
Routh.
I didn't see any Cavill movies.
You haven't, apparently, no. We went through that when we went through the whole Superman storyline and the Batman versus Superman storyline. See episode 3 or 4. 3 or 4. Yeah. But Brandon Routh did a good job of doing he played it very much closer to Chris Reeve and kind of like playing that way. And he plays that very well. He's also in that Legends of Tomorrow show, and he's pretty good at it. He plays the Atom.
Oh boy!
Yeah. But anyways,
do you think that superheroes are not? I feel like they're losing their not their appeal, but their superheroes used to be special, and now I feel like they're freaking everywhere, dude. Like there isn't even one Spider-Man anymore. Like now there's 6 Spider-Men.
Spider-Man?
Spider people?
Spider persons?
Spider persons, if we're going to be politically correct.
We don't want to exclude
There's even a Spider Ham now?
Oh, Peter Porker, the Spectacular Spider Ham.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that comic. It was amazing. It was hilarious.
Well, I'm sure it's funny.
He fought Dr. Doom.
Now, when I saw it, look, I laughed. But, well,
it's a Spider-Verse, so it's a larger universe. But that's when Spider-Man got weird, and I started talking about the whole idea that he was like a clone. And then they had Miles Morales, and they took it. You're right. It's more than just that. And they did similar things with Batman. They did Batman Incorporated, which I think was well done. But you had Batman, just like you had Spider-Man, all over the place. And I think does it water it down? I mean,
hell yeah.
I mean,
I think I had a Spider-Man 2099 comic somewhere.
Yeah.
The hell was that?
It wasn't very good.
But what?
That was a cool lithograph on the front of that with the mirror cover and everything. But.
Yeah, when it first came out.
Yeah, it was like a big deal. But no, they tried to do all the 2099s, but they wanted to do stories with like a familiar character, but that they could play with the whole like mythology around the character because it was so far in the future. Like Batman Beyond, that cartoon that came out, which I didn't like at first, but as I watched it more, it got a lot more interesting and cooler because they were doing different things with the Batman mythology, and you had old man Bruce Wayne there to kind of hold the whole thing down. And it was like it gave it credibility because now you know what it is. It's the Rocky story, and we're not going to get into this because we've already talked that we're going to do a Rocky show. When I left, my family were watching Rocky 5.
They were,
yeah,
okay.
Because that's the big thing in my house right now is Rocky.
Yeah, this time of year it's a lot of Rocky.
But
I don't know why that is.
I don't know either. You know, Rocky and that whole changing of who is the trainer and who's
which show are you
training
talking about right now?
Batman Beyond.
What's that?
You're not familiar with it? Was it a cartoon? So you know Batman the animated series, right? The Bruce Timm animated series that came out, which was
briefly
really well done. Kept it very close to the comics line. Big part of why Harley Quinn became even bigger because she was this animated character and she was, created for the animated series. And you had Mark Hamill doing the Joker, which was awesome. Just tearing it up every fucking episode that he was in it. And it was just really well done. And they did storylines from the comics, and they did them really well. Well, then they kind of ended that. They went from Batman, they did Superman, then they did Justice League Unlimited, and they were also doing in parallel this Batman Beyond, which is Batman in the future, where old man Batman, Bruce Wayne, he's too old to be Batman anymore. Too fucking old. This is even past Dark Knight Returns old. And he recruits this kid to put the suit on and bring the mantle of Batman back to Gotham City in the future, a futuristic Gotham City. And it was an interesting concept. And I didn't catch on right away with me, but the more I watched it, it got really interesting. And then they actually brought the Joker back.
Yeah, I know. I just, I don't know. I feel saturated. I feel like I'm up to my ass in superheroes.
That is also a true statement, and I was about to say
fucking Aquaman.
Yeah, I know.
And I think I saw in the trailer he was lifting a submarine.
He's pretty strong, Atlantean, in the depths of the ocean.
In the depths of the ocean, though.
You have to be strong enough to swim through the depths of the... But when he was out of the ocean, he would be even...
He was flying through the air.
Yeah, he was flying, yeah. Do you remember Namor, the Submariner from Marvel? He had little fucking wings on his ankles. That was weird, dude.
That's Achilles.
No.
Pegasus.
No, it's actually Hermes.
Hermes, thank you. I knew it was one of those Greeks.
Or Mercury, if you want to talk about the Roman mythology, which was pretty much identical to the Greek mythology when it came to the gods, just named after planets.
Right.
Or the planets were named after the gods. But he was weird. I don't know. I think you're right about the superhero thing. It's getting to be... So the only difference between the superhero thing and the Star Wars thing is that Star Wars had some tripping points sooner, but I think DC is really fucking it up. I think Marvel makes pretty good movies, but even notice that the Marvel, they're doing fewer and fewer movies a year now. Like I think there's 2 planned for next year.
Right.
They're cutting back, but you're right. There's going to be a point where nobody wants to see fucking superhero movies anymore because it's just I see so much of it.
But I'm really it looks interesting this Spider-Man thing that's out. This
Spider-Verse. I may see that Saturday night. I haven't decided.
It looks interesting. It might even be fun, but part of me is like, damn, Spider-Man is no longer special. Like he's not a special. As a matter of fact, it looks like half of them are more powerful than he is. So like, not only is he, I guess maybe I'm upset because maybe I'm watching my childhood be passed down to some other generation. Is that maybe what I'm feeling? I don't know. But it's like, well, geez, Spider-Man is kind of like almost he's slowly becoming nobody. He's been reduced to this child of Iron Man. Then he loathing after some suit. And then now he's, and by the way, there's these 10 kids who are better than you. And one of them's a fucking pig. And he's, and it's like, okay, well, what at that point, if I'm Peter Parker, oh, fuck this. I'm going to hang it up. I'm going to get with Mary Jane and have some kids and get some sort of life for myself. Like it's...
Maybe that's a big part of it, though. Maybe you just hit around what the whole thing is about. It's about legacy, right? Let's face it, Peter Parker, he's married. He doesn't have any kids. Is he going to have kids? Can he have kids? Should he have kids?
So, yeah.
Or are these other spider-kin his legacy of the future, right? Batman doesn't have kids, but what does Batman do? He has a family around him, whether it's Batgirl, Nightwing, Robin, Red Hood, whoever the fuck it is. He's got a whole family that he's built around him of people who are capable of dealing with being, his family members, as opposed to having a kid who he keeps this whole fucking thing secret of, and then next thing you know, the kid's just kidnapped and being utilized as a tool against him the whole time, right?
Right.
But I don't disagree. I think... I like to remember Spider-Man the way he was, where it wasn't so, like you said, is it watered down? I don't know. They do a good job in some of the cartoons where they have the whole Spider-Verse in there, where they kind of, boil it down to, it doesn't matter all your flashy powers or whatever. At the end of the day, Spider-Man has more heart than any of them. because he's legitimately been through more, and he can overcome more. And he's the one that brings everybody together with his leadership. And that's kind of the way they started to turn it. I don't know. Did you see the new Avengers Endgame trailer?
Did I tweet it? I think I tweeted.
Oh
it.
Yeah, I think you did. Or no,
but I didn't see. No, I tweeted
Stranger
Bruce Willis.
Things. You tweeted Bruce Willis.
Yeah, Glass something or other.
Oh yeah, Glass. Yeah,
Glass. That was called
Glass. Yeah, that's the M. Night Shyamalan.
Shyamalan. I thought it was Shyamalan. Shyamalan?
Pygmalion?
Shyamalan. Okay.
That's what Howard Stern called him, Shyamalan. I'm sticking with Howard.
I had a bunch of notes, but I lost them. Yeah, sorry. I lost a bunch of notes. But why are midget bands always kiss?
Why do what?
Why are midget bands always kiss?
Why are midget bands always kiss?
Yeah. It's never like midget Pearl Jam.
I did see midget Guns N' Roses once.
You did?
I did. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm wrong.
Yeah, midget Axl Rose really could hit those high notes.
This is our Christmas show, sort of.
Is it? No, I think we got...
No, we don't.
No, we're right. So Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody. Anyway.
Happy Hanukkah to our Hebrew friends. Our Jewish...
Oh, yes.
Hebrew?
We missed
Jewish?
it. Sorry. Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Chanukah.
I got you something.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's a hairdryer.
Am I opening this on the air?
I don't know. You don't have to. No, you can leave it.
I don't even feel right. I have nothing.
It's not a porno. So.
Oh, is this Mrs. Tingle?
No, that would be great.
Oh, that would be great.
It's a little something.
All right. Well,
we talked about it once. So
okay.
I just figured I'd bring it up.
Well, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's a chance if we talked about it, I put it on my Amazon wish list. So.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, there you go.
I'm very excited though because it feels like a book. So that makes me happy. So thank you.
It could be a heavily used porno.
Yeah. Hey, ew. Why is it so sticky, Nick? Why is there a sock in here?
So midget Guns N' Roses. Did you see him live? Or?
No. What, you've seen Midget Kiss live?
No.
I was going to say that's weird.
It would have been awesome.
Like as an opening act for somebody?
You think they could play? I mean, I've seen them on TV.
I mean, optimally, I think you want Midget Kiss to play, but I mean, I don't know. Are they known for their musicianship as much as they are for their stage shows?
Yeah.
Are they?
Detroit Rock City?
I know. I mean, Ace Frehley.
Frehley. No, that's definitely Frehley. Ace Frehley is Ace Frehley. Oh, that's the one name I know how to pronounce, I think, is Ace Frehley.
I just think it's amazing.
Even though it's spelled Frehley.
It's amazing that we cannot agree on the pronunciation of anything.
No.
And half the time, I think either of us are right.
No. And I said earlier, I said it was on the toilet and I was predisposed.
Oh, geez,
which means I was predisposed to shitting.
It's like he's predisposed to anemia.
What was I supposed to say?
Are we all predisposed to shitting?
Predisposed to shitting, exactly.
We all have to. Hold on.
But what was the word I was supposed to use?
Indisposed.
I was indisposed, but I said I was predisposed.
What's I want to know.
Predisposed means it's something you're predisposed to. Something that you have a tendency towards, or
make someone liable or inclined to a specified attitude, action, or condition.
Yeah, you're inclined to something.
The action would be shit.
I was inclined to shit.
You're predisposed.
I'm predisposed.
Inclined to shit like everybody else. That's funny. But yeah, I think would Midget Kiss open for Kiss? Is that too much Kiss?
No, it's too much Kiss.
I actually think that Gene Simmons is planning on having Midget Kiss go out as Kiss as a franchise Kiss.
I mean, I'm sure that he makes those midgets pay licensing fees.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
He doesn't.
Gene Simmons doesn't fuck around.
He doesn't fuck around.
He doesn't.
Yeah. No, you can't. I don't even think he's probably trademarked.
Oh, I'm sure. But
makeup.
He's been
right?
wanting to, and they have been working. Him and Paul Stanley have been working towards franchise Kiss. Just people go out in the makeup as Kiss,
like Menudo.
Is there a franchise Menudo?
Yeah, didn't Menudo have hundreds of members?
I didn't know. I don't know enough about Menudo. I remember Menudo was a big thing in the 80s or something. They were the first boy band, weren't they? Were they the first boy band? Were they before New Kids on the Block? Or were they just the first ethnic?
I think they were before New Kids, possibly. Menudo was they were a band though, weren't they? As loosely translated. band.
They played instruments.
But they had multiple members. Wasn't Ricky Martin one of the?
I think he might have been a Menudo. But isn't that like the? Is that like
a Menudo? It means like a.
Is it like the Latino Mickey Mouse Club?
Mickey Mouse Club.
Well, yeah, because Mickey Mouse Club, like
I thought you were gonna
Britney.
I was going to say monkeys, like the Latino monkeys.
No, because a bunch of people came from the Mickey Mouse Club back in the day. Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
A bunch of people came out of that.
You're right.
I want to think. Didn't Justin
Timberlake? No.
He was from something. Though
he was.
Yeah.
Well, he was from something. Who are the members of New Kids? Jordan Knight.
Oh, Jesus Christ. If we know this is bad.
Joey Fatone, was he a New Kid?
No, I think Joey Fatone.
No, he was 98 Degrees or
no, I think he was
In
like
Sync
or something.
All right.
If I knew the New Kids on the Block, I Jordan McKnight, I know now that you said
Jordan
it.
McKnight? I thought it was Jordan Knight.
Jordan, was he Irish?
Jordan McKnight. You might be right.
I don't know. Jordan McKnight, I think, is another singer.
I lost my notes.
And I think he's black. I think Jordan McKnight is a black singer, which makes no sense because he's definitely not Irish. Is he Irish?
Who?
Jordan McKnight.
Jordan McKnight doesn't sound.
I don't
Jordan,
think so.
Jordan Knight is in New Kids. He was the guy with the quaff.
With the cough?
Quaff.
Jordan McNair.
Jordan. Just type Jordan Knight, like Knight Rider. Like the Hoff.
Jordan McKnight is a contortionist.
He's a contortionist.
What the fuck? I definitely don't know no Jordan McKnight. There's another Jordan performing at the Academy of Country Music Awards. That's recent.
Maybe just go New Kids and you'll see Jordan.
You want me to go
Knight.
NKTOB?
NKTOB. See what comes up.
Oh,
you can buy tickets. I'm sure they're on tour.
I'm spoiling.
I think they have a cruise coming up.
I think I'm defiling my iPad with this. Members, are you ready?
Here you go.
We're going to do this now.
Is there a Jordan Knight?
Donnie Wahlberg.
There you go. Marky Mark.
Mark Wahlberg.
There you go.
Joey McIntyre. Right. Jordan Knight.
Jordan Knight. There he is.
Jonathan Knight.
Okay, so two sets of brothers.
And then the least known Danny Wood.
Danny Wood.
But the other names, I guess now that I see that is,
Yeah. Look at that.
And then I have similar artists.
And God forbid you bring that up to Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, my God.
God forbid you call him Marky Mark.
Yeah, it looks like we got ourselves a transformer.
No, I'm Mark Wahlberg now.
We got a transformer over here.
Yeah. And Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Donnie Wahlberg, though, yeah. So, yeah, a similar artist, Backstreet Boys, In Sync, 98 Degrees, Boys to Men, Paula Abdul. And
so is Menudo have multiple members or no?
Am I searching for Menudo?
Does Menudo mean something in Spanish?
I think it means like minute, doesn't it? Menudo recipe, Menudo food, Menudo English. Menudo boy band. Oh, what am I doing to my iPad? This is like filthy. This is worse than the Mrs.
See if Ricky
stuff.
Martin was in Menudo.
The members of Menudo were, it seems pretty finite here. Ricky Martin.
He was.
Draco Rossa, which I think he's a Slytherin. Roy Rosselli.
Here comes Menudo. Get out the sorting hat.
Yes. Xavier Serbia.
I
think that's how I say it. He's looks Ravenclaw-y.
Okay.
Angelo Garcia looks like a Hufflepuff.
Okay.
He's very flashy. And then Johnny Lozada. Not to be confused with Tommy Lasorda. They don't look anything alike. And then there are similar artists. Similar artists, MDO.
Similar artists.
Rencurrero.
Oh, you're rolling your arms.
I don't know if I did it right.
Impressive.
Magneto. There's
a Magneto in there.
There's not
it's
a guy with
X.
It's Professor X, Magneto, the Blob, Pyro. It's basically the Masters of Evil, or the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. Sorry, Cheyenne, Domino, and Timbrique. All right, and I'm closing that now.
I was, one time I was playing, one of the first times I was playing an online game, and I came across a clan, and I always thought of clans with like jerks and noobs, and not noobs, but dweebs, and I don't know. I never liked the idea. But the first time I came across a cool clan, you know what they were? They were all old game show hosts. I thought that was the funniest thing.
The characters in the clan?
Yeah.
So it was like Wink Martindale?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like there was a
nice.
Wink Martindale, Bob Barker. Like you've been sniped by Bob Barker. You've been and like one by one, like everyone, and like they were pulling out like really like old ones, like
Richard
super
Dawson kissed your
Richard
wife.
Dawson. You I can't remember half of them, but it was fun. I just thought of it because you said something that made me think of it.
Okay. Menudo?
See, but this is what happens when you lose your notes. I lost my notes. I had a lot of cool notes, and they're lost.
I have a couple things here. I actually a couple things I want to talk about. So,
shit.
do you remember? You remember Mego? Remember Mego, the company Mego? They made the figures, the toy figures, Mego figures. Back in the day, they were like probably the first superhero figures ever made.
No.
Mego, you're not familiar with them?
No, I go back as far back as Hasbro, and that was it.
I mean, they were the ones. I think they made the original like Star Trek. They were marginally dolls. They didn't look great, but they're pretty well known. But I was at Target cruising the toy department without my children, which is kind of creepy. But I like to do that.
Okay. Were there any other kids around?
They might have been, but I always try to stay away from them because I want to be that guy.
I would hope so.
Try to grab a toy like I'm here shopping. I'm around here.
Yeah,
I'm not
right.
a pedo. But and I was there and I saw the weirdest fucking Mego figures ever, dude. And I know they make figures for everything these days. I gotta find it now. It's been
How do you spell Mego?
Mego is Mego. And I gotta find. I took pictures of a few of them because I was just so blown away by. Here it is. These are a few of the Mego figures that they had. They include there's a Mego Tootie from the Facts of Life, a Mego Alice from the Brady Bunch,
There's a Mego Tootie. Alice?
and there's Tootie right there.
This was at Target?
Yes.
Now.
And then
This is currently in
yes,
Target.
I was just there. They have one of the characters from Charmed, which means they have the whole Charmed line.
I'm sure.
But just understand, if there's a Tootie figure, it means there's a Natalie,
Wait.
and there's also a Blair figure.
There's got to
as
be a
well.
Blair.
Yep, and a Mrs.
And a Joe.
and Joe, yeah, and then there's also the George Clooney figure. I'm sure has to be a part of that too.
Oh, Blair's boyfriend?
Well, the guy, like the mechanic guy that was always hanging around all these young,
yeah.
Girls he shouldn't have been. Here's and I cut it off, but I'm pretty sure here's Peg Bundy from Married with Children, and then down here, dude, I can kind of see it is Norm. You can see Norm.
Oh, get
from
outta
fucking
here.
Cheers, and I'm like,
George Wendt
has an action figure, or it's a doll essentially. Let's face it, but I was like, and they're like $13 a pop, and I was like, what the series fuck is going on? And it's that thirst and that desire for like that, all that retro shit that we talked about, like the things, the nostalgia that made people rush out to see those Star Wars movies.
So you think they're selling these things?
Dude, I went back and they were gone, man. They were wiped out. I think the Charm figures were left. I guess Charm doesn't move, doesn't quite have the following that it used to. But
That Cheers does.
the Norm figure was like, boy, George Wendt, and then
I bet
also
they're on
the,
eBay now for twice the price.
The only one that sold faster than that was a Cliff Clavin figure.
Cliff Clavin was awesome.
But
I wonder, who's your favorite? It's too hard to
What?
answer now on the fly because it takes too much thought.
my favorite what?
Like one of your favorite TV characters?
I mean, from when I was a kid, and I think about the people that that really made me laugh, actually still make me laugh, like George Jefferson. I love that character.
George Jefferson was a great character.
And then also
Archie Bunker was a great character.
I didn't relate to Archie. I didn't think he was funny because I don't think I caught that he was kind of like the anti-hero of that show. He was kind of making fun of. I don't know if we talked about this here. I think I talked about it with my father-in-law about. He loves to bring up Archie Bunker and Jackie Gleason, and we talk about all these old TV shows that I shouldn't know anything about. But he's kind of like, I mean, because Carol O'Connor was like super, super liberal. And he was kind of playing that over-the-top conservative racist guy he was the butt of the jokes,
He was.
And I think that as a kid, for me, it was too, I don't know, it was too deep thinking, I was always
You were reading into it?
Yeah. I was like, Fred Sanford made me fucking laugh, dude. I love Fred G.
Sanford.
Fred
another
G was
great-
fucking hilarious.
Yeah. No, definitely.
What about you?
Mr. Furley.
Mr. Furley was hilarious. And then subsequently, Mr. Roper was great too.
Mr. Roper was good. He was no Mr. Furley.
Well, no. Yeah. Well, they had a
Though
different.
Mr. Roper's sex-starved wife was another great.
Well, she was the foil for because it's. You're right though. You hit a good point, and I was gonna say the difference. They were both funny in their own ways, but one was that Ralph Furley was this weird, creepy, kind of like marginally a sex offender. Let's just face it, Ralph Furley.
No way. No,
dude, come
way.
on,
Mr.
RF
Furley,
dude. He was a walking hard on Ralph Furley. He was just waiting for an opportunity. He totally.
What show were you watching?
Ralph Furley would roofie some. He would absolutely roofie one of the girls.
What are you talking about,
dude? Ralph Furley was sketchy as hell.
The one he was Don Knotts. You talking about?
Yes, Don Knotts.
No, he was tied up in such a tight knot that he was just on eggshells all the time with his brother.
No, he was sexually repressed, dude.
Yeah,
he was just waiting to explode.
Yeah,
Ralph Furley is a sexual offender. If you put him in the 90s, for sure, he definitely roofied some high school girls. I'm almost 100% sure of it.
Oh, God. Fucking ruining Mr. Furley for me,
And Mr. Roper was just a cuck. Mr. Roper was 100%, he was a cuck.
Okay, so I don't have any characters.
Not that they weren't funny. I'm just saying.
They call my characters cucks and sex offenders.
I
really like those guys.
Well,
man.
Fred G was a fucking piece of shit too.
Who?
Fred G. Fred Sanford.
Oh,
and George Jefferson was kind of also a fucking piece of shit. I think that, and I guess they all kind of have to be. That's what made them kind of flawed. Shitting on your fucking childhood, dude. It's my take on them. You know, it's not like somebody told you that Sarlacious Crumb was fucking Jabba's fleshlight. And you're talking about fucking up my childhood, dude. You put a spin on shit I never even conceived.
What else is he doing there for? What else
moral support?
For moral
laugh
support.
at his jokes?
It's too small.
When I was a kid, I just wanted somebody that would
laugh at his jokes.
No, I just want.
You don't need a little thing that's
no, but he laughed at every joke, like it was funny, like really, like he was that guy who thought everything he said was funny, and then everybody else just followed in. I always thought he was kind of like the cheerleader.
Frogs, I think, are nature's fleshlight.
Is this something you figured out on your hunting trip?
No. I read that somewhere. I mean,
nature's
like
fleshlight?
National Geographic or something.
I know the frog, the monkeys do.
Monkeys,
shit with the frogs,
they use them like fleshlights.
Yeah, monkeys are They were like monkeys are human beings if we are totally dialed into our base base needs.
They're us.
I'm gonna scratch my balls. I'm gonna rub my ass on a tree and fuck a frog and mouth fuck a frog.
One of the things I was. One of the things. I guess I
and just shit wherever I want to shit and fart. I don't fucking care.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mouth fuck
whatever.
Some frogs. What are you doing with that trout over there? Anyway, Pornhub comments.
Pornhub.
It's a Reddit subreddit of the week. We haven't done that in a while. So Pornhub comments. It's a good one. You'd be amazed.
Yeah,
they discuss philosophy in there.
Really, I'm sure there. I mean, there are.
They
you could bring intellect to the most base of situations or scenarios. So I've seen some comments where the guy said, you know, I thought the video was well shot, but I thought the plot was thin. Right. Her acting. Somebody actually said her acting was unbelievable. I'm like, wait a minute. She was having sex. Yeah. You didn't believe it? It was actually happening.
I'm glad you browsed the Pornhub comments.
Yeah,
too.
It's funny. Well, sometimes we just want to scroll down to say, what am I looking at here? Should I waste my time? If I see something that's got some good comments, it's either really bad or it's not. But yeah, that's funny. If you didn't bring up a subreddit, I have a subreddit I was gonna throw out there. Probably
you did?
Not as interesting as Pornhub comments, but we'll say that.
I don't know. No, let's do yours.
I was gonna say there's one called Shower Thoughts that I like.
Oh, Shower Thoughts is awesome.
I like Shower Thoughts.
Shower Thoughts is definitely a staple.
It's a little more mainstream than Pornhub comments, but
yeah, well, you'd be surprised.
I mean, everybody knows Pornhub though.
Yeah,
actually, there's a movie with J. Gordon Levitt called Don Juan. I don't think it's Don Juan. I think it's a play on Don Juan, but he's like this, you know, I want to say he's like this New Jersey Ginzo, player.
Easy now.
And actually, that's fine. I'm marginally Ginzo. I say it with love.
Okay.
I'll say it to my wife's highly Sicilian family, and you guys are a bunch of Ginzo motherfuckers. And Pornhub is, dude, front and center in this movie.
Is it?
Oh my God. Like he's constantly like, it's the sound of him turning on his Apple computer and then him on Pornhub. And it's like, no, this is fucking Pornhub. And then them showing real parts of porn on the movie screen. I mean, it's like a heavy part of the storyline. You should actually watch it because it's a very well done. It's a very interesting story. And a character you talk about who is kind of starts off as a loathsome character and kind of finds redemption.
Okay.
With Pornhub. Not because of Pornhub, but Pornhub's in the movie too.
So the Pornhub's like a character almost in the film.
Maybe not a character. Maybe like a crutch. Pornhub was his crutch.
His crutch.
It's an interesting movie to watch.
Okay.
But while we're talking about porn, I have a Snapchat just because there's a lot of Fortnite stuff and feeds, and it's really interesting to get news via Snapchat. So one of the things that I got, because I like to subscribe to Vice on Snapchat, and they have a very interesting feed.
That's a video service? Video
Vice, yeah, they do a lot of
gossip.
Things.
Is that entertainment gossip? What the fuck?
No, Vice is like they do all kinds of programming around like some pretty hardcore. Like they talk about drug trafficking, they talk about drug muling, they talk about like governments and risque shit. It's a news thing? It's kind of like a much more risque CNN, like guerrilla CNN kind of.
Okay.
And they do a lot.
Guerrilla CNN.
They might not be guerrilla anymore because everybody knows about them. But they have stuff on HBO, and then they have a Snapchat, which I think is a really interesting way to get news. And one of the things it said was they talked about masturbating. And one of the things it said was screenshot for a new way to say masturbate. And I have this list of new ways to say masturbate
via Snapchat.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's where I got the news. Oh, Jesus.
No, but I mean, people's responses were in Snapchat.
No, this was a list that they put together as kind of like a top 10 list of
top 10 lists of other ways to say masturbate.
Of new ways to say masturbate.
This sounds like guerrilla CNN.
It's out there. It's very right on the edge, you know. And so some
sounds
of the
more like this show.
Some of the new ways to say masturbate: junior Olympic pole vaulting, master debater. Pet one's kitty. Okay, so I guess that's for women. We're equal opportunity here. Yeah. Polish one's knob. I don't think that's like new.
Wait, this is completely. So you can't use ones that are already in use.
I think some of these are in use though. Some of them are lame, and some
polishing the knob is definitely in use.
What about slap the salami?
That's definitely in use too.
Okay. What about wax the dolphin?
I think I've heard that. But that's a good one.
Choking the chicken.
Is flick the bean there?
Choking the chicken. We're going to get... jerking the gherkin. Jerking the gherkin.
Jerking the gherkin.
I've heard that before. Beating your meat. Okay, I don't think that's really new.
Yeah, that's not new.
Wakey, hands off snaky. That one is blue for some reason. I don't even know why. Flick the bean. Twanging the wire. Cruising for an oozing.
Cruising for an oozing. What was there's a DJ one for girls. MC scratch a lot. MC like, you know, wiki like what's it called? Something like that.
Is this manual exercise, pocket pull, not new. 5-knuckle shuffle, not new. Slapping the salmon. Is it salmon or salmon?
I think it's probably that may be a regional thing.
Okay. And tug of war. That's it. Which I didn't think it was like, this is not going to change the world. But the one I thought was interesting was wakey, hands off snakey.
And it's blue because...
I don't know why it's blue.
Because it's not...
it's blue.
It's see, they're there with the lotion. Is there any socks in that picture?
No sock. Just lotion and hand, you'll notice.
Yeah, see?
Which I wanted to bring up, yes. This is evidence.
They got it right.
The sock is not...
There's no sock.
The sock is not used during.
It's either sock or lotion, not both. No,
just by the nature of the texture of the sock precludes it from...
needing lotion.
Well, because it would change the whole thing. You're doing the lotion so there's no friction, but the nature of the sock... I mean, you might generate an electric charge if you were to fuck a sock. It's kind of like rubbing your feet across a carpet, right?
No, it doesn't generate an electric charge.
No. Friction across like...
against a carpet, but I'm saying... having sex with a sock, I don't think generates electric charge. Well, I guess if you go fast enough,
vigorously,
you have to be pretty goddamn vigorous.
Vigorously masturbating with a sock,
yeah, I mean,
you could generate an electric charge.
Skin at that point. No, I don't know.
So what you're saying is that we could if this were true, we could take the population of the Earth and generate enough power. We wouldn't need fossil fuels anymore.
No.
We could just hook wires up to socks.
Hook wires up to socks.
And just take it.
Just stick us all in a hole. And it's funny. I have a scene in the script that's exactly that. It's fucked up.
Did I fuck up your scene?
No, I'm just saying. Yeah, so I don't know if it made sense. I also wanted to just get before I forget.
Okay.
Because I forget things all the time, just like I forgot some of this stuff. This bonus role-playing game that we're doing. So we're going to release it. We're going to do it like tonight. We're going to get into it. But we're going to release it so that we have a show every Monday. That's going to be the change. So instead of it being on one Monday, we get 2 shows. It'll be every Monday. You'll get a show. It'll be the regular show or the role-playing show.
So those of you that were captivated,
either or both.
If you were captivated by us trying to figure out how the fuck to roll up a character,
yeah. And then next, I wanted to apologize for the bonus role-playing game episode, because we didn't know Gamma World too well. I was clueless as fuck, and then because of that, I was just like lagging behind, and then we had to put together. We also didn't have materials. You were fingering an iPad through a D20 manual, which is not a good freaking idea.
No, it didn't. It was not a. It wasn't. It didn't.
That's seriously hard to do.
But we did say it was going to be very entry level. We were all learning together.
But you know what? Yeah, we did. I did learn a lot listening to it. I told you the second time I listened to it, I actually learned and saw the mistakes I made with my character.
Well, we're going to find out tonight how much.
Yeah, I found out why you have to move those numbers around when I listened to it the second time. I'm like, oh, well, no wonder I'm looking at my character sheet and I'm looking at my height and weight and I'm looking at my occupation and my abilities aren't lining up.
Yeah.
So now I know why you move them around. It's for that reason.
Well, and I rolled up a character today just to get into the experience of it, and it was easier for me because I the first step they said was have a concept, and I was like, it's kind of the kind of I knew what kind of character I needed to put in the game to help you because you're the only player. I needed to put somebody in to beef things up and fill in some gaps for who you were. So I kind of knew what I needed to do. So having a concept, I went in like really tore it up as far as making a character. I'm like, oh, this is what I want to do, and it went pretty quick. Once you had a concept. So I think it'll be better. It'll be easier. Tonight we're going to get into some combat. So that's going to be more learning.
Right.
We're all going to learn together, people. Either you're entertained by it or you're not, whatever. I will say I picked up, and to your point, more Twitter followers that were around the gaming piece. I picked up 7 Twitter followers this week, which is like big fucking deal, right?
Around gaming?
They were all gaming related.
Yeah, well, because like I said, no one searches out, 2 idiots in a bunker. People search out role playing.
Maybe.
So they're gonna. Some they find us via role playing. Some people find us, through the show, and some people find us through this, and some people find us through word of mouth, Twitter.
And some people just stumble upon us in a dark room and grope us inappropriately,
right. or find you snooping around Target in a creepy toy section.
It's not creepy toys. It's kids' toys.
Well, it becomes creepy when there's a 47-year-old man standing.
I'm not 45.
45.
I'm not 47 yet.
I'm rubbing my eye till it comes out. Hang on.
It's
fine. You take a toy section.
I like
you
going
insert
to the
a
toy section.
45-year-old man. It becomes a creepy toy section.
If the mom is there and she's looking for something, I'm able to help her answer her questions. If I were a single guy, this would be the place I'd probably hang out. Now that I think about it, although I know it's a mom, I'm probably not getting anything. It's probably bad.
Depends on the mom. Do you want that to start a relationship on that basis?
That I helped her find toys for her kid?
Well, no, that she's like cheating on her husband with some guy she met in the toy section in Target.
No, I just thinking like single mom.
Single mom.
Not trying to fuck somebody's wife.
Yeah, I know. Really, that's what I'm saying.
Wow, you don't think very much.
Well, no,
of
you said
me.
mom. I just pictured a married woman.
I'm a piece of shit hanging out in a kid's toy section, fucking married women. You don't think?
I'm still upset you said about Mr. Furley. He's fucking.
All right. Can we before we go, because I know we're going to move on quickly, but can we talk about the list for a second?
Oh, you know what?
Because I know that's a big thing that we were tweeting about, but I had 2 articles that I tweeted, and I told you I put this ridiculous idea together in my head. Aside from the super volcano, which
I think maybe we should just write it the fuck down.
You want to write it down and get back to it later?
No, and post it.
Okay.
Like just.
No, the list needs.
The fucking
can you find the list?
I have like 8 versions of the list.
I think your kid's colored on top of the list.
I have. Oh, this is stuff we know about.
These are our talents. Just so you know, what we know about is on the front page of one piece of paper.
These are our talents. These are our feats. This is the logo. These are blank. Okay, now
there's the list right there.
Here's a list here, and we had it somewhere else too.
But what list is the list, though? You're right. It needs to be put somewhere because right now it's kind of shapeless. The list.
I guess this. Let's go with this one. This here is paper. At least you're hearing paper.
Nick likes paper.
Yeah, I don't know why I have paper. I feel like freaking Dennis Miller on Saturday Night Live. Here we go. All right. Where were you going? Where were you going with?
So
you had an item. Are we putting it in?
We talked about super volcano. Well, you said insects.
Super volcano isn't there. We need a
super volcano should go on there
because we mentioned super volcano, but then we never put it on there. We mentioned Yellowstone in one of the early episodes.
We did. It just didn't make the list.
It just didn't make the list.
But aliens did.
No, we crossed out aliens.
No, did we cross out?
Yeah,
aliens?
It's got aliens crossed out.
You did. I don't think I ever agreed to that.
Well,
did you put lettuce down?
No, I wanted to put lettuce.
I just want to make sure that you're not like railroading the list here and you're just putting your shit on there because
lettuce is gonna kill us all, but that's all right. You'll see.
What if I don't eat lettuce though?
Well, vegetables in general.
Okay. Well, there are people who don't eat any vegetables.
Oh, those carnivore diet. Carnivore diet.
Yes,
it's called the carnivore diet.
Okay.
They just eat like steaks.
Yeah, just meat.
Eat meat. Maybe eggs too. Steaks and eggs.
Steak and eggs.
They do. You're laughing.
I'm just thinking that my kids would be safe when actually my kids love vegetables. But,
I thought we had a better version of this too, but
we might have to reorganize the list.
We do.
But you wanted to put super volcano, and then you wanted to put insects also. I think with lettuce, what's going to kill us?
What happens if the bees die out?
No honey. But then wouldn't we just be able to synthesize honey? You're very itchy. Are you having an allergic reaction? Do you have an EpiPen down here?
No.
Okay.
But the bees. What about pollination? Won't that affect?
But won't other insects?
If we lose the pollinators? What happens?
Then what? Doesn't some pollination occur just through like expulsion and wind? And
a little bit, not enough.
Right?
No.
Really?
Yeah, no.
The stem and the pestle need to be
properly fingered.
Stimulated.
Yes,
like the man in the boat,
nuzzled and muzzled.
Yes.
So I'll just list them right now, and then it will have. We know what we should do is we should sleep on it.
Okay.
And then we should organize it.
Okay. So let's plan on. Are we doing that on the show, or are we doing it separately?
Do one on the show.
Reorganizing the list.
We could present our arguments.
Okay.
But I guess that doesn't make sense. Because if we're going to go through them now, I don't know if we have time to go through it now.
No, we shouldn't go through it now. I got the thing I want to talk about for the list. Because I think it's going to happen, and we talked about
what's going to happen.
I think what I'm seeing is going to. I think this is potentially what's going to do.
This is it
for sure. This is going to move up the list. I think it's on the list.
Well, give it to us.
Is asteroid on the list?
Yes, it was number one. You made fun of me.
Well, okay, so maybe that's perfect because this will substantiate it because I had posted or I had retweeted. I don't know if you see, I'm such a nerd. I'm retweeting all these fucking science things.
Yeah, science show. Yeah,
but it's great. I'm like, I want to retweet every one of them, but some of them are the same thing. But so they had this whole story about how scientists had measured the total brightness of the universe.
Right.
And it was 4 times 10 to the 84th power of light, of photons, right? And in spite of the fact that it was, that's 84 zeros, right? The end of 10 what is it, 10? I don't even know what that fucking number is, but it's
10
gigantic.
to 84 is
10 to the 84. It's 84 zeros. Yeah, it's huge. It's a huge number. And even in spite of having that much light, the space is so dark that you look up and you see nothing but darkness in spite of all that light that's measured, right? So think about that, right? Coupled with the fact...
First of all, I think when... Is this the one with the small photons?
The photons, but not small photons. It's photons.
They argued about the size of them.
They said they were small?
They're smaller than
that's judgmental. I don't think that's
what they originally expected.
It's not the size of the
But
body.
how do you measure the light? I have to stop you at step one. How do you measure the light of the universe? Are you going to tell me you took a section of the universe?
It's a mathematical equation.
Yeah, you took a section of the universe, and then you measured the light in that section, and then you turned that section into a grid, and ended up with X number of boxes, and then you multiplied that grid, or maybe you did several grids and came up with an average, and then took those sections and said, all right, well, I have 1,000 of these sections, probably 1,000,000 of those sections, and then multiplied 1,000,000 by whatever your average number was, and then you just say that's the luminosity of the universe? Or are you actually fucking measuring the luminosity of the universe? Which, if that's the answer, then how? That's probably too much.
So there's no detail here about how they measure it, to be honest with you. But see, what I think you're missing is the fact that in spite of
isn't that amazing?
But they measured it at this gigantic number, and it's still only pinpricks of light in the vastness of space.
Right, space is
the
huge.
Emptiness of space.
Space is absolutely
and
huge
dark, right? And that's my point is dark.
Right.
Forget about. I love the fact that the number is 10 to the 84th power times 4. That's a huge number, and that intellectually turns me on. But just the idea that they measured all this shit. Who cares how they fucking measured it? But that the universe, in spite of that huge number, is still dark, very dark,
very dark. Yes.
So the other thing that scientists have been measuring is there have been
now is this is tying into
my whole thought.
Oh, okay.
They have been measuring these huge gravitational disruptions in the universe.
Right.
Based on collisions with some enormous things or whatever the case may be. Right. And they've measured 11 of them over the past, I think, 10 or 20 years.
Okay.
Massive gravitational disruptions.
Okay.
So coupled with the fact that it's the vastness and darkness of space and these something huge is heading towards us, dude.
Right?
It's coming at us. And if we're lucky, it'll be another near Earth miss, but there are gigantic things out there floating bigger than even Earth.
Oh, yeah,
even if it's half the size of our planet, it would cut us in half. Dude.
Well, it doesn't even have to be half the size of this planet. It could be a half the size of our moon, a quarter size of our moon.
How fucking scary is it?
It could be a mile across.
And I don't think we could even see it. If there's no light reflecting off of it, we can't even see it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if that... I think everything reflects light.
But it has to be within the proximity of light to reflect it, right?
Yeah, but...
There's a possibility.
As soon as it enters our solar system, it's within the proximity of light.
Yes.
Even outside of our solar system, it's in the proximity of light.
I just think there's something coming and we're not even going to see it, dude.
Yeah, definitely.
You're going to look up and go, what the fuck is...
Did you ever read...
And that's all you're going to get.
Fucked.
What the fuck is...
No,
and that'll be the end.
We're fucked. Did you ever read Graham... I think it's Graham Greene. Graham Greene? Cosmo?
No.
I got to remember the name of the book. For the next episode, maybe I'll say the name of the book. But this just fucking freaks me out. The universe, they I don't know how we're getting on this. From this fucking show is just about everything. But anyway, we're stuck in a bunker. We're going to talk about shit, and we're into nerdy stuff a little bit, I guess, in science and shit. The universe is considered to be infinite. Right?
Yes.
Somewhat regarded as infinite. Nobody really knows for sure. But physicists tend to lean towards the universe being infinite to the point where it's generally accepted that is where we stand now, that the universe is infinite, because if it was finite, it presents all sorts of problems with some numbers pertaining to the universe. So... If the universe is infinite, there is also matter in the universe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the matter there's an infinite amount of matter, right? Within the universe, because the universe is infinite. But there isn't an infinite number of types of matter. So you with me? So if you takes even there's photons and quarks and neutrons and muons and gluons and all this stuff, all these particles, the atoms and that make up the elements. We haven't discovered anything out. We haven't discovered a new element yet. I don't think.
No.
And I think that it's also widely regarded that us finding another element is probably going to be that would be a huge deal if we found one. I don't think anyone. I don't know what the opinion is of whether or not we ever will. But I'm getting at something here.
Okay.
So that means you have an infinite number. You have an infinite space. Problem space, I guess you call it. I forget what there's a mathematical term for it. But you have an infinite space of possibilities. But you have a finite number of variables to mix up.
Okay.
So to make it a smaller example, something easier to wrap our heads around, is if I had a deck of cards, there is only 52 cards in there. But if I told you to shuffle the cards, twice, and then lay out the cards, what are the odds that the numbers, that the cards come out in the exact same sequence? Pretty low after just doing it twice. But if you did it 100 times, still pretty low. 10,000 times, you might happen once. 100,000 and so on. And as you approach infinity, it not only it becomes definite. Okay? So that means that if the universe is infinite, like the amount of times you're shuffling this deck of matter that exists, then that means that deck of cards, if in that infinite space, the way it's arranged is going to be duplicated, then that means that in an infinite universe, that we are duplicated. And not only are we duplicated, we're duplicated an infinite number of times.
You're saying that because of the mathematics of it, there's a higher probability that there is other life because the deck is only finite.
No. I'm saying mathematically, you and I exist an infinite number of times based on current physics and mathematics.
Okay.
That's just something that just something. Maybe we go on that note. We exist if the universe is infinite, and there aren't millions of types of matter that we know nothing about, then the molecules, how they're arranged, have duplicated an infinite number of times. That means the way the molecules are arranged in your body and the way they're arranged in mine is elsewhere an infinite number of times. Graham Greene, you got to read it. It's fucking,
I'll have to check it out.
Head explodes.
It is. I'm not quite grasping the infinite number of times. I mean, you had me right up to the point where you said infinite, because I was like, okay, if the deck is the elements that are the known elements, which is finite, and the universe is infinite, it means that the probability that there is the mixture of cards that you're going to draw that's exactly like our hand. We're a royal flush, right?
Right.
The royal flush is going to come up more often. But the argument could be, though, you're saying that the deck is the cards are only one deck. What if you mixed in 5 decks of cards, like Vegas? The probability of that mixture of things becomes higher or lower.
Well, yeah, the amount of matter in the universe, the types of matter in the universe is far more than a deck of cards. But infinity is infinity. If you were to shuffle that deck an infinite number of times, how many times would you shuffle the same order an infinite number of times?
Well, because it's an open-ended equation because infinity is open-ended. Yeah, it's a mathematical technicality.
No, but it
The minute you put infinity in an equation, the answer...
Infinity is a real number, isn't it? No.
No, infinity is not a number.
It's infinity. Infinity's in math all over the place.
It is, but I would think that it's like including zero in an equation, that the answer is always going to be zero. If infinity is a variable in an equation, the answer would have to be infinity because it's endless. It's an endless number. It has no bounds. It has no scope. It has no boundaries. That's where you start getting into philosophical mathematics.
No,
you're not even like
no.
You're not. You're.
No, our infinity is a number. Let's say you can never get to, but you could approach it. Right?
Okay,
that's.
Well, you're
always
always approaching infinity.
Right. That's what calculus is about. You're trying to, how close can you get as you approach infinity? What is your answer?
Okay.
So as you approach infinity with this finite number of, of n matter,
okay,
arranged in x fashion, how many times will n equal x as you approach infinity? The answer is infinity.
Yeah, infinity, because infinity is invariable. It's a variable in the equation. Answer has to always be infinity.
Right. Exactly.
All right.
All right.
On that note,
let's do a little D&D. If you guys want to tune into the D&D episode, that'll be next Monday. This Monday will be this show. And you'll know that because you'll be listening to it.
It'll be closer to Christmas.
Yes. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Happy Kwanzaa. Hanukkah. Ramadan passed, right? Do you say Happy Ramadan?
I don't think you say Happy Ramadan now.
Shit. All right.
I don't even think you say Happy Hanukkah, really.
And to all those atheists, fuck you, I guess. I don't know. What do you guys say to each other?
God says hi.
God says hello. See you guys. We'll see you guys before 2019. We'll throw something up.
We shouldn't say God says hi because you're the martyr guy. So we're just bringing.
I know. I'm going to get
religious
myself
podcast.
into further shit. Fucking shit.
You had a sign off.
It doesn't matter.
You had a sign off written down that said something like,
"I did.
Fuck you guys" or something. What was your sign off? Did you have written
I
down?
told you I lost all my fucking. I lost my
on
notes.
the dock. I
lost my notes, but I was just going to say something, but I forget it. It doesn't matter. An infinite number of me.
Oh wait, here it is.
Has said that on Twitter an infinite number of times.
Yep.
And some of those, I'm sure I was greeted wonderfully.
I'm just happy.
Maybe not in this one, but in one of the other ones.
I'm happy that you said infinite so many times this time because usually I say infinite.
Usually you say infinite.
You really covered.
Yeah, but you were treating infinity like it's divided by zero, and it's not. It's infinity is a real mathematical term.
All right. No, I understand it is, but I just think if it's in the variable, the answer is always infinity because there's no number that it doesn't represent a single number. It represents.
But if matter is infinite, if there's an infinite number of if that was infinite, then you'd have infinity and infinity, and then they would never line up.
Infinity times infinity is what? Like 3.
No, it's infinity, but it doesn't mean that it lines up. That doesn't mean that the atoms of our body duplicate. Hamlet was written an infinite number of times. If I took the letters that made up the play Hamlet and spun them around an infinite number of times and let them land, there would be, let's not say infinity. Let's say if I did an infinite number of times, 1,000 times Hamlet would come out.
Yeah.
Okay, so if it would make you happier, there are at least 1,000 of the both of us sitting at a table right now. On that note, see you guys next week.
Later, fuckers.